Hello everyone, Chris Assis here, and today it is our second video on speed, moving faster and slower, and we're touching upon the transition between the two. So it is an attempt to show you the two basic options that we have when we want to move faster, and one being we keep the size of our steps the same, only the speed changes. And that requires a change in our body position mainly. Or you can make the steps smaller as you go faster, and again that requires a change in the body position as well. So we will be exploring these two options, and we're going to look into ochos and put a little sequence together next week. So bring in any questions that you might have, any comments, anything that you've tried and it worked and you want to share with the rest of us. That would be great. And we're going to be wrapping it up next week. So start with a gentle walk, finding your own pace and your own rhythm, noticing the little things, the details that make this your walk. How you step, where you're landing on your foot, how you shift your weight, how you manage your posture, how is your breathing. Notice if there are, especially if there are any spots that you're holding tension that it is unnecessary. We're doing very subtle work today, and it will be very frustrating to try to speed up if you're holding unnecessary tension. So we achieve speed through freedom and not through tension, really. So take this time to notice if there are any spots where tension you're holding on to tension. It might be your hips, it might be your knees, might be your legs, your lower back, your upper body, your core, and take advantage of this time to release. And if you have done so, we're just going to do slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow. And so 2 quick steps and then 2 slow steps. Notice that at the end of that slow step, I am going into speed mode. So that collection is the transition time. The other thing to notice here is that I'm keeping the same size of steps. This is variation 1. So the size of my step is the same, going slow or going quick. Take advantage of these breaks that we have in between to notice these things. Use these breaks in your own practice. Go back to something that feels comfortable and safe, and when you're ready, start again. Quick, quick, slow, slow, and quick, quick, slow, slow. Notice here my upper body, how it tilts a little bit forward when I'm about to take off. So I hope you're able to see it as I'm going around in a circle. I will be changing direction soon, but there is, in order for me to keep the same size of step while I'm going slow and fast, I need to tilt the upper body just a tiny bit subtly forward. So there's still freedom in the hips while I'm pressing forward with the body so I can move the legs underneath my center, keep my balance, and go faster. So we're going back to the basic, keeping a nice steady rhythm as we go around, noticing any differences, noticing how that subtle shift in the body makes such a huge difference. Relaxing, taking a few more calming breaths and maybe, keeping a calm breathing pattern as we go faster. That's another skill in itself, and it's an extra bonus with this exercise. So this is option two. And option two, I am bringing the body a little bit more upright. So I want you to take a few seconds to notice that, how the body comes up and then it slightly tilts forward again. Up, upright, and comes forward again. Did you see that? So try to focus on that. Notice how I was upright right at this moment. And then it goes back up. So what our goal is in both of these options is to keep the feet under our center, so we're not running after them or falling forward over our toes too much or falling back over our heel too much. So we want to keep the weight centered over the middle of our foot. So here our steps are getting smaller and they're getting faster. So the speed is the same, only the size of the step changes as we go. So in option one, we were aiming to keep the steps of the same size between the fast and the slowest part of this exercise. And here we are consciously shifting the size. So we're going small and quick compared to long and quick that we were doing before. And that requires a different posture and a change of that tilt in the upper body. And now walking backwards, we start in exactly the same way, focusing firstly in creating a comfortable pace. And, the interesting thing about going backwards is that, especially if you have a narrow space like I have here, it it creates a weird sense of spatial awareness. So you're after a couple of steps, you're very much aware of what's going on around you, where you are in the room. So here, especially in the back step, you can see it very clearly how the body needs to tilt more forward to go into a faster pace while keeping the same size steps. So nice long steps, but faster. Now, the other thing that you will be feeling quite strongly is that energy coming from the center of the circle. So you might get a little bit dizzy. So be careful with that. And try when you're going slow to acknowledge that energy. So your body is not going to be square, especially when you're going fast. The more squareness you try to bring into this movement, the more difficult it is going to be. So there is going to be a gentle side bend towards the center of the circle, because there is that force coming from the center of the circle. So just putting it out there, making making you aware of it. So try to notice it now that we're going a little bit slower. Try to find it, and then you go for short and fast. So you can see how I'm coming upright. It was quite obvious, I think, right there. So you're going upright to bring to have the alignment between the feet and the center of the body. And here too, remember to acknowledge that force. It is, of course, there when you're going forward. It's just that when we're going backwards, as I said, the spatial awareness is just heightened. It's quite an extraordinary thing, quite interesting. Okay, so let's take a step back and just try things. I've taken my shoes off. and I suggest you do exactly the same thing. Try things in a little bit more of a less tango approach. Just try to see, just move fast back and forth, but try to keep your steps long. So try to notice, especially this is especially for the ladies, when we're wearing heels, that's not easy to do. Try to notice though how it's not a a strong strike of the heel in the floor. It is more towards the middle of the foot and middle back and a little bit towards the outside. Um, and I know we've talked about this in previous videos, but I feel that especially when you're going fast, that is a lot more obvious. When you hit with your heel, there is like as if you're hitting the brakes almost. That's not to say that your heel will not go down, but it is, as you can see, slightly a little bit more forward. And I want you to explore that, and it's a lot easier to explore when we're not wearing shoes, especially if we're not wearing heels. So that's the reason why I took my shoes off, and I'm inviting you to do the same. And I'm changing direction here so you can see how with what softness my heel reaches for the floor. So it's not an abrupt strike, even now that I'm going quite slow. And I want to invite you to explore this when you're going slow as well. Try to feel it with your heels too, or with your shoes generally, but it's quite a lot more obvious when you're not wearing shoes. And we want to have that feeling of the rolling from the back of the foot to the front and from the outside to the inside while we're going forward, from the inside to the outside of the foot when we're going backwards. So it is an opportunity to remind ourselves about those transitions and bring them into a faster pace while keeping the same size of steps. You will be able to notice here how my body is a little bit more tilted forward compared to before, but I'm minding. My focus now is of an integrated movement where, because of speed, I'm not tensing up. On the contrary, because of speed, I'm trying to free my legs up. So I want you to find, I don't want you to copy me. I want you to find the position that your body can be in, where you can feel that you can still move your legs inside your hips, move your hips around your legs, move your body, your upper body in relation to your lower body with freedom. Because that is the for me the one of the most important ingredients when dancing, to be able to be in a position where we can freely move. That brings us such an enjoyment, I think. So even in these exercises that are very technical, you have to take a lot of time to notice how the shifts of weight are happening, where you need to place your body, and all that. Give yourself that sweet gift, that gift of having fun while doing this. I mean, really, if you let go, it's really a lot of fun, and we all let go in different ways. So don't think that this is the ultimate truth. These are just explorations that I share with you, and I hope that they help you, but they are here to invite you to explore further on these things. So don't copy my body position. Just take these ideas that when you try to do long and quick steps, your body will be in a different position compared to when you're doing small and quick steps.